Tonight's live Empower Championship football comes from the Amex. It's Brighton and Hove Albion against Leeds United. It's on Sky Sports HD and Sky 3D as well. And a win for Brighton tonight would take them back to the top of the table. A win for Leeds would take them up into sixth. Your commentators then, Don Goodman and Bill Leslie.
Now Gustavo Poyet, who celebrated a centenary of matches in charge of Brighton, sets up his side against the club where he really learnt his trade. Moved from Swindon Town as assistant to Dennis Wise to Leeds. His first home game in charge of Brighton was a fair hammering at the hands of the Yorkshireman. So, as you heard him say before, Don, you sense he sees this as a bit of a staging post in terms of the progress that his side have made.
Well, I think so. It starts tonight, really. I think the fixture computer was relatively kind, with the greatest of respect on Brighton, but there's some tough run of games coming. West Ham, Birmingham, Millwall away, Ipswich, Hull, all going to be tests. And it starts right here tonight for Brighton, and Gus Poyet will know at the end of that run of games just where his team are at in this division.
First touch for the former Leeds United goalkeeper, Kasper Ankergren, between the posts for Brighton these days. Ashley Barnes. He got what turned out to be a consolation goal here against Liverpool, but that second half performance left Brighton probably feeling a little better about themselves after their tussle with Premier League opposition than Leeds did after theirs. They were comprehensively outplayed by Manchester United at Ellen Road, weren't they?
Well, they were, certainly. It was a clear gulf, and Brighton will be thrilled with their efforts against Liverpool. A very good Liverpool team, it has to be said, but need to forget all about that now, because for the first time this season, Gus Poyet was a little bit disappointed in his players' performance last week against Leicester City. He's looking for a reaction. They've tasted defeat in the Championship for the first time, and Leeds will be keen to keep the heat on this Brighton team.
This is Brickett. Angle ball, seeking Barnes. It was enough to have Tom Lees caught in two minds. He took the safe option and scooped it behind to give Brighton the corner.
Well, communication. I think he probably knows there's a Brighton player behind him in Luar. He's got to deal with it. Safety first. Probably the right thing to do.
Big pitch, wide pitch, and Brighton know how to use it. They've got Luar on one side. He started from the left. Craig New, one of the stars of the show against Liverpool, on the other flank. He's come across the Liverpool lads to take the corner kick. Calderon, free header into traffic, and Barnes fires over.
Well, Leeds United, defensive frailties. Look at the movement from Calderon. Absolutely acres of space. Can't quite see who's supposed to be marking him, but the Leeds player gets absolutely nowhere near him. It's Danny Pugh, actually, supposed to be marking Calderon, and what a chance that is. Poor defending from Leeds, though. Simon Grayson will certainly have earmarked that.
Well, perhaps a little snapshot in these opening minutes of why Leeds are yet to keep a clean sheet so far this season. McCormack scooting forward, but the referee has pulled it back. Lee Probert will allow a little bit of treatment on for Inigo Calderon. Called a painful one.
Oh, he did. Danny Pugh, eyes firmly on the ball, got absolutely no idea Calderon is there. It's a pure accident, but it's a hefty blow, isn't it?
He shuffled his pack. Gustavo Poyet making those 5 changes. The man down is one of those who started every game this season. The 29-year-old Spaniard Inigo Calderon. It's not just the results that Brighton have been getting this season, though, Don. It's the manner of the way they've been going about their business on their return to this level for the first time in, what, 5 years.
Well, there's no question. Gus Poyet and his team and the supporters, they all would have seen what Norwich City, Leeds United and Millwall did coming into the Championship last season. It has to give you heart when you're a really good League One club, when you come into the Championship, knowing that you can bridge that gap with a little bit of quality, and I don't think there's any doubt. They've started the season, they've carried the momentum of last season into this, and they look a real threat to this Empower Championship.
Well, this pause in play lets us have another look around this magnificent stadium for you. There is a criticism of new stadia and that they can be soulless, and the supporters take a while to get used to it, but that is certainly not the case here. What an atmosphere this place generates.
You can hardly hear yourself think. It's an incredibly good atmosphere. And you think all of those years spent at a hockey stadium have come a long way.
And the way they've adjusted to life here, it must, although it was a long and painful journey, seem that it is worth the wait. Leeds United, of course, whenever they come to town, bring their healthy contingent of supporters. The away end sold out.
Well, they're some of the best, no question about that. Some of the best fans in the country. They get right behind their team through thick and thin, and they follow them everywhere.
All in all, perfect stage for what should be, given the records of these two sides so far this season, the way they like to go about playing their football. Thoroughly entertaining night of football in the Empire Championship to get this footballing weekend up and running for you. Calderon. This is Lewis Dunk, product of the academy.
I think this is the part of the game that Leeds United have to get right. The pressing game. When do they go? When do they really attack Brighton and close them down? We saw so many teams struggle against Swansea City, didn't we, last season? Struggle to cope with that passing game. Got to get the balance right.
No hint of tiredness for Craig Noone. There was a thought, because he put so much in both physically and emotionally against the club he supported as a boy. All that headline material about him being a roofer on Steven Gerrard's home. But Craig Noone up and running again for Brighton here this evening. The target was Mikhail Smith. Darren O'Dea, known for the season from Celtic. A little bit of a surprise, Don, that Patrick Kisnorbo, who's available again after suspension, is only on the Leeds bench. They've elected Simon Grayson and his coaching staff to go with the back four that started against Manchester United. This is Leeds getting forward well. Dunk was there to meet it for Brighton. Lualua.
I think you're right, one or two raised eyebrows. Kisnorbo. Simon Grayson still searching for that partnership. Hasn't found it yet so far this season.
Scoring goals hasn't been so much of a problem for Leeds this season. It's the same, really, that cost them the end of last season, the same problems. They can't just seem to keep clean sheets.
Yeah, they haven't had a clean sheet in the 10 games in all competitions this season, Leeds United, and that is certainly something they need to put right. But looking for Andy Keogh here, he's a game worker. He goes up very early and comes right down on top of Lewis Dunk. But he's a willing worker. He could be important to Leeds' game plan, because they are going to have to try and stop Brighton and Hove Albion playing out, putting too many passes together.
Perfect mild night on the south coast for football, barely a breath of breeze. The pitch was nicely watered just before kick-off.
That's precisely what Leeds United have to do. Make Kasper Ankergren in the Brighton goal kick the ball long.
Barnes, the challenge with Howson. Painter. Carl Smith, you can see what he was trying to do, just chest it on towards Lualua. £2.5 million man.
Brings you so much more than goals, doesn't it, Craig Mikhail Smith? Absolute nuisance for defenders to play. Even if he's not on his game, he will prove to be a handful.
All around to bounce. McCormack will burrow away to try and get that. Greer. Painter. A modicum of pressure. Here's Lualua. There'll be a push on the lively winger, so it'll be a free kick.
Well, one or two inquiries from Leeds United as to the kind of contact on Ross McCormack here. That's just a little nudge from Dunk. It's a tiny little thing, but McCormack goes down too easily.
There he's on the ball now, Brighton's teenage centre-half. Performances in the early part of this season have had Premiership scouts raising their radar in his direction, but a little bit off target with that particular pass.
Well, if you take away the movement and the chance from the corner, you know, I think Leeds United's game plan so far has been absolutely spot on. They've really restricted Brighton, haven't allowed them to get that passing game going. And they've looked relatively comfortable, other than that corner. That'll please Simon Grayson.
You'll also be aware that Brighton have a pretty poor record recently against Leeds. They've lost 3 of the last 4 meetings. If there has been a bit of an inferiority complex in the recent past, though, I do sense that Brighton don't come into this with that in place anymore, not after the way they've started the season. Darren O'Dea will take this, maybe seeking his compatriot Keogh. Here comes the Dane Ankergren, and that was comfortable. Bromby kept his eye on it. A start for him this season. Bridcut. Barnes. Two games in 48 hours, even if you didn't play the full 90 minutes, can lead to a little bit of ring rustiness, and you do sense that both sides in a way are a little bit leggy, particularly Brighton.
We heard Gus Poyet explain, didn't we, prior to kick-off, tiredness. A lot of the time it's in the mind. I just think that there's so much riding on this. Yes, it's early season, but the table is just starting to take a little bit of shape, and both of these teams will want to be in towards the right end of the table from their perspective. When you get to that all-important 10-12 game mark, you have to be in the place, ready to attack. You certainly don't want to be looking over your shoulder.
And here we are, game number 8 for these two, 3rd against 11th in the Power Championship table. Barnes finds Mikhail Smith, heavy first touch. Otherwise, it could all have opened up.
Could have been an option of letting that ball run across him, didn't he, Craig Mikhail Smith? Well, as we would have expected, the home team enjoying more of the football. We know, don't we? It's not the all-important statistic. Only really that one chance so far with that possession.
They had possession of about that sort of ratio in the second half against Liverpool as well here.
Well, you only have to look at the Blackburn-Arsenal game last week to realise about possession. Blackburn had 30% of the football and scored 4 goals with it, so it's what you do with the football when you've got it.
Now the other P word, penetration. There'll be punishment here for Lualua, who was a little over-zesty in his challenge. Looked really lively when he came on here against Liverpool, the on-loan Newcastle midfielder.
We spoke about the wide players. Talent on both teams in wide areas. Neither team really been able to get those players involved in the game so far.
Bridcut, who provides the shield in front of Brighton's back 4. Looking to provide an attack, but did go out of play before he got to it.
He's frustrated with himself, isn't he? Decent situation developing, but once again a poor touch from Craig Mikhail Smith.
Maybe White, Keogh. Picked up by Howson, but also lost by Howson. Now Noon for Brighton. I look to hit the front early with Mikhail Smith, who gets the header on. Lee's on the cover. last time you might have seen Leeds with us live, they put in a really good away performance at West Ham. Headline stolen at the end by that sensational equaliser by Adam Clayton. Similar sort of performance here. And they should be able to run Brighton pretty close. Might have lost to Liverpool, but they're still unbeaten here in the league. The only blip, the draw against Blackpool when they surrendered a 2-goal lead, is McCormack. Moon tracking back busily and effectively, finding Lualua. Very nearly returned the favour. White. It's clever stuff. Just fired over the bar by Snodgrass. Creative and not too far off sensational.
Well, we spoke about the 4 talented wide players on display, didn't we? And this sums up what Robert Snodgrass is all about. A real threat, prepared to cut inside. And that there, Kasper Ankergren just stands. Watch the goalkeeper. He doesn't make any attempt, because if this ball's lower, I think it's past him.
Well, he'd have looked on from the other side as Ryan Giggs made a similar sort of run and similar sort of effort, but much more punishing for that third that killed off Leeds' hopes in the Carling Cup midweek. What a poor clearance that is by Ankergren, straight at Keogh. Now McCormack. Snodgrass saw it blocked by Greer. Ashley Barnes won't get there. Lee's will for Leeds. Keogh. Back to Snodgrass, who's starting to make his presence felt. There's the cutback. McCormack had just overshot the runway. Excellent effort from Adam Clayton on the volley.
Took a deflection, got a corner for this, but Leeds slowly but surely cranking up the pressure on Brighton again. Snodgrass involved, pulls it back into a decent area, but both forward-thinking players had pulled to the far post. That's a decent effort from Clayton. Good technique to keep this ball down on the volley. And it gets a little nick, and they get the corner.
Back across the face of goal by Keogh. That's not clear convincingly, but Brighton helps it on its way.
Simon Grayson will be absolutely thrilled with the start that his team have made.
Well, they've settled better than their hosts at the moment. Pugh, the new boy, and his second coming. Moon couldn't find a way past him. White, the fullback, breezes beyond Bridker into a really good area. Cut back for Keogh. It's there to be hit, and hit it is exactly what Clayton does. Loose and in. Leeds United lead. Andy Keogh sweeps it home for his first goal this season.
Well, it's been coming, there's no question. The last 5 minutes, it's all been Leeds United. All been Leeds United, and Brighton, who so normally are very, very good defensively, are all at sea. And that's a great burst from White, and he pulls it back. And there's Keogh's first involvement. He lays it off, and he gets himself back involved. There's some good blocks in there, but he sniffs out the chance, Andy Keogh. He's in the right place at the right time. A.D. White does ever so well. This is good defending, isn't it? It's Dunk that gets the block, and Leeds get a little bit of a lucky break. There's no doubt about it, with the way that ball deflects and lands at Andy Keogh's feet. But he keeps calm and he hits the target. That's his reward for hitting the target. And Leeds are ahead. And it had been coming.
Always the willing worker, Andy Keogh. And now the Leeds goal scorer.
Brighton need to react because, as I said, apart from that corner, the opportunity for Calderon, they haven't really passed the ball in a penetrative way. They haven't got into Leeds, haven't got the tempo high. And Leeds have got their tactics absolutely spot on so far in the opening 20 minutes.
They've had a lot of praise this week, haven't they, Brighton? And rightly so. The way that they conducted themselves against Liverpool. Not suggesting that it's gone to their heads, but they need to find the response here. Noon Super work by Noon. It took the covering challenge from O'D to stop him.
Well, it was a vital challenge, wasn't it? This young fella, excellent on Wednesday night. Got great feet and a great left foot. That is good cover defending from Darren O'D.
Keogh. Leeds throw.
They usually score, don't they, at home? Brighton and Hove Albion, 32 home games on the trot. They found the target up against a usually fairly fragile Leeds defence, so this game is far from over.
Clayton. O'D. Keogh stayed across there, but just offside against Leeds. If you discount the beating that they took at the hands of Manchester United, it's been forward progress by Leeds in recent weeks. They got things going at home, back-to-back wins. They know they need to get things going away. 3 away games played and they're yet to win. Pretty chastening experience the last time they came to the South Coast on day 1 at the hands of Southampton, didn't they?
They've had tough away games, haven't they? You look at them, Southampton away, West Ham away, Ipswich away, and now tonight Brighton away. All testing games.
Here's Noon. Early ball in, Smith.
Well, Darren O'D is staring at the assistant referee. He is certain that Craig Smith is offside, but I think the striker maybe just times his run to perfection, and he does. Look, played onside. And he's played onside by Darren O'D, and how close is Craig Smith? It's just always curling away from him. But he times his run to perfection, and he's inches away from getting on the end of that.
Calderon. Yorkshire opposition here on day 1 in the first game of the championship season at the Amex Stadium in the form of Doncaster. They took the lead, and it was only in the last quarter of an hour that Brighton were able to find a response. The man who scored both goals that afternoon, Will Buckley, picked up an injury, so he's not involved tonight. And a lively first half against Liverpool. Here's McCormack! Oh, yes! A top goal from Leeds' top scorer. It's 2-0.
Well, so much to admire about this from Ross McCormack. You're right, he is on fire. He was on fire before he just scored, and he's on fire now. He has just scored. This is wonderful. He offers himself, and that is a wonderful turn. And then what about the strike? His weaker left foot, and he gets pure power behind this. And the goalkeeper may have been unsighted by Lewis Dunk's position. It goes in the near post, but he's been for pace. Kasper Ankergren. Wonderful football from Ross McCormack.
Leeds United fans must be wondering if this is the same Ross McCormack from the first 19 games he played for them last season, where he failed to even look like scoring. He can't stop scoring at the moment. That's 10 in 13. That's 8 for this season.
Well, he got a couple, didn't he, towards the end of last season. And that just allowed us to see a different player, the player that we saw when he first came to Cardiff. He's certainly back with a vengeance.
Here's Noon. Then causing trouble, but again finding just to get the final break that he needed in order to get his way through that last line of the Leeds defence.
We're going to see really now what Brighton and Hove Albion are made of, because they haven't actually started this game. Forget about the Carling Cup. Yes, it was a good performance in defeat, points for absolutely nothing. What people will be looking at is the fact that they were fairly poor against Leicester last week, and if they lose at home to Leeds here, people will ask questions.
Barnes, Mikael Smith looking back for Ashley Barnes. Leeds have men back. He should be able to clear it away as well. Offside against Mikael Smith, who was coming back towards the ball from an offside position.
Just looking for that little bit of service into the Brighton forwards, aren't they? But no such problems for Leeds United. Get the ball into this fella, and he will be a threat. This is a lovely, lovely strike with his weaker left foot. Let's not forget that. It's a pure strike. It's a sweet strike. He enjoyed it. I wonder who he's had a bet with. He's in the money.
Well, that strike was right on the money, wasn't it? Brown, who joined the club in the summer, has a bet with Ross McCormack, £100 every time he scores. That's 800 quid and counting.
And counting. He's like a different player, isn't he? Confidence oozing through his veins.
And speaking of currency, it is the striker's currency, isn't it? Confidence.
Oh, absolutely. Leeds United supporters will not recognise this fella from those first 15 or so games. He struggled to live up to the billing, but he just scored a goal. It wasn't even a chance, it wasn't even a half a chance. Just a lovely little bit of skill on the edge of the box and a rocket shot.
Snodgrass wants a bit of movement ahead of him. So it's the movement behind that will cause concern. Just ran away from Calderon. Brighton throw. Lualua and Noon have swapped sides temporarily. Here is Lualua. Barnes.
Oh, that's better. Listen to the crowd. They're still with their team. Took Adam Clayton, midfielder, to get a block in there. They need something to happen, don't they? They're just waiting to explode, this crowd.
Short corner work to try and give the angle for Noon. He's been forced a little too wide. Allowed Johnny House and the Leeds captain to come across.
A little bit concerned, not necessarily with the fact that his team are 2-0 down, but haven't really manufactured anything.
Brighton. All the way back to Lewis Dunk.
You can see that's what will really concern Gus Poyet. Here we are, nearly half an hour into the game. His team haven't mustered a shot on the Leeds goal yet.
Cut. Leeds cutting off the avenues forward really effectively. Lualua. Bromby stuck a leg out. Mikael Smith battling for it. Leeds composed under pressure this time. Brighton will have to build from the back, and all the way back they go. Barnes.
It's a little bit of a naive challenge from Johnny Howson. Ashley Barnes wasn't going anywhere there. Cheap free kick. Allows Brighton to send the big lads up from the back.
April at home against Burnley, the last time that Leeds were able to shut out. Just examination for them here. Gary Dicker will deliver. Just hung a little too high, which allowed Andy Lonergan to come across.
He was almost waiting for that, wasn't he, Andy Lonergan? He realised it was going to be a high-floated ball to the far post, gave him the opportunity to come. Just what the defenders wanted.
Cormac penalised here. Last away game in the league for Leeds did end in defeat at Ipswich, as Don was saying a moment ago. But they were in front, they were well in control until A.D. White got sent off. And a cool twist of luck as the deflection for the winning Ipswich goal. They felt they were better than the result they got that day. Certainly laid down an early marker here in this opening half an hour. Theo with his first of the season, McCormack with his 8th. Leeds with a cushion. Lualua.
Leeds are holding a really good shape. And when they're out of possession, one of the two strikers is dropping into that midfield area as well. Happy to do that to make it difficult for Brighton.
Calderon. He's usually reliable with his passing, but he's given it away, and Leeds can flood forward. Snodgrass. Takes the pace out of the attack. And maintains the possession. With that 2-goal cushion and with possession, they don't need to force it, Leeds. Here's Dunk. And given away needlessly. Pugh rides the challenge of Calderon, puts it into a dangerous area. Well, this is the start of what is a great weekend of live action for you on Sky Sports from the Barclays Premier League. Tomorrow, Manchester City against Everton. That's live from 12:30, Sky Sports HD1, and available for you in Sky 3D. Super Sunday comes from Loftus Road this weekend. QPR against Aston Villa. That's Sky Sports HD1 from 3:30. Woodcut's header. On by Pugh. As we heard Simon Grayson say before the match, knows exactly what's required to be a Leeds United player. Joined the club initially from Manchester United as part of the deal that took Alan Smith to Old Trafford. Here's Noon. In a sense, just seeking that little bit of rhythm, that sureness of touch. And there's certainly plenty of that about this burst from Lualua. Terrific stuff.
Well, Tom Lees does just enough to stop Lualua having an easy cross to one of his teammates, because he's all but beaten there, isn't he? But he keeps going, the full-back, and just does enough. It's a little bit of help from Lee Bromby at the near post, but that's what Brighton need, that energy.
In the genes, isn't it? His older brother Lumana, also a bag of tricks. Brighton corner, you could hear the shout from Lonergan. It's still not away, back in by Calderon. Mikhail Smith just getting ready. And, excellent piece of defending there by Keogh to stoop and get it away. Painter. Won't be there to meet it. Clayton. And Lees. Just a little bit of concern about Ross McCormack as he hobbles round. I think he's going to be okay though. Just a knock rather than anything more sinister than that.
Coming together with Luar. They chase the ball just a moment ago. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Barnes. Smith starts his move in the middle, hoping that the service will come in. But Noon is thwarted. And trying to find half a yard, but he hasn't been afforded that by Tom Lees. Snodgrass away, McCormack.
Just started winning the ball. Off Leeds a little bit further up the pitch, Brighton. That will set the tone for them.
Good cuts. Luar. Goes backwards to goes forwards, and here's Barnes. In by Calderon. Luar. First touch just took him away from goal. Luar. And you could see what he was trying to do, but the covering Snodgrass cleared. Made the tailing intervention.
Growing into the game, isn't he? Luar. It's brought the crowd to life. To be fair to them, they haven't stopped backing their team, these Brighton supporters.
The team are starting to respond. Foul by Darren O'Dea. Free kick Brighton.
It's a fairly needless free kick to give away in a dangerous area. Just allows the centre-halves to come up. Allows Brighton to try and get some quality into that Leeds penalty area.
First comes Gary Dicker to take it. A line of blue and white waiting to receive it. Will it be Noon? Dicker was shaming to take it, and in fact, here is Craig Noon. And we'll whip it in with that left peg of his. Plenty of depth on it, and it's behind and away. The pressure remains.
Needed defending, didn't it, from Johnny House, and he knew Mikhail Smith was right behind him.
No doubt about it, it's Brighton's best spell of the match so far.
Leeds United, very important 10 minutes coming up for them.
Very nearly a free header at the near post. Mikhail Smith is there, super save. They're getting closer to pulling one back, Brighton.
There seem to be a couple of opportunities in there for Brighton. We've certainly got away with that. That's where Brighton have probably looked the most threatening, isn't it, from the set pieces so far? Maybe a little bit surprising.
Luar. Mikhail Smith. On by Pugh, who's hurt himself with the challenge with Calderon.
Just maybe take the sting out of the game for Leeds. Lee Probert. We'll have a word with Calderon. This is the reason why. This is laid off by Pugh. That's naughty. Very naughty. I would suggest Lee Probert didn't see that clearly. Otherwise, certainly, it may have been a card. But this is the set piece again. The movement to the near post. Nobody in sight. And it just drops down to Mikhail Smith. But credit Andy Lonergan. Very, very sharp and very, very brave goalkeeping. That's kept his team with a 2-goal cushion.
Pugh. Despite that nasty-looking challenge from Calderon's up and running again. Keogh. Pugh. Two low knees combining. To Adam Clayton. And A.D. White, the deflection off Luar. head to it. Here's Snodgrass now for Leeds. Clayton, Pugh, Keogh. And holding on to possession pretty competently at the moment. Leeds are just taking the sting out of that little Brighton revival.
Please, Simon Grayson, definitely the right thing to do. Brighton just gathering a small head of steam there, weren't they?
Goal kick. I remember at times in the past, in the not too distant past as well, Don, last season when Leeds got themselves into good positions away from home, that Simon Grayson was critical about the way that his side showed a lack of maturity in closing games out. But the passage of play there shows that, at least on that occasion, he did a very good job.
Absolutely.
Smith not giving O'D a moment's rest. And well, though, the Republic of Ireland international. Keogh rises. There's Calderon.
I really think that has been the most impressive thing for Leeds United for me, the shape and the commitment in the closing down. They've got the balance absolutely spot on. They haven't allowed Brighton to get the ball down and pass it in those midfield areas. That's thwarted the movement of the forward-thinking players. It's been a good game plan from Leeds United.
Smith from Walawa. Brickett. Tigerish pressing there from Howson, typifying the Leeds effort in this first period. Dicker. There's Howson in his way again. Here's Lualawa. Super ball in, causing real problems. Lonergan at full stretch goes down, makes the challenge, but the corner had been awarded.
Oh, the crowd are going mad. One or two of the players having a look, because does Andy Lonergan, does he get the ball here, the goalkeeper? No, he catches Craig Noon's ankle, doesn't he? It's a clumsy challenge from the goalkeeper. Do you know what? Dangerously clumsy challenge. I think if the assistant referee is on the right side of this, Brighton may be getting a penalty for that.
Very quick to award the corner as well. It was borderline whether the ball was out of play before he actually saw the incident. Brighton rally again. Lualua, who's been the man most likely to. He's left in a heap. Leeds pour forward, the charge led by Snodgrass. Barry Dicker. Well, he's outnumbered and outmaneuvered. It's Pugh. Snodgrass.
One or two challenges flying in. Opportunity for Lee Probert to maybe give a free kick to both teams at certain parts of that melee.
That's a touch on, but straight to Leeds. A lot of the pre-match talk on the way here was about how Brighton were going to be able to turn it on against Leeds, but it's been a really impressive 45 minutes from the visitors. The side who started off lower ranked, 6 points behind their hosts in the championship table.
Been very impressive from Leeds, very disciplined at times this season. I can't say that Simon Grayson's men have been disciplined. Certainly been so far. Can they see it out to half-time? Set pieces, this is where they've looked a little vulnerable for me.
Lualua. Excellent stuff from Howson again, which allows Pugh to come forward. Keogh. Snodgrass. We're into that 2 added minutes now.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it, to see Brighton in the second half. There's no question that Gus Poyet got a reaction from his players in midweek against Liverpool. Much better second half. He's going to need more of the same here at half-time. May well think about tinkering with the shape a little bit. Leeds have looked fairly comfortable from those set pieces.
He's also got his joker in the pack as well. I don't know how long he has in mind to give Vicente, but he made a serious impact against Liverpool. He's signing from Valencia when he came on for half an hour.
I think we may see him staying out and getting a little warm at half-time.
Pugh. Super strength from McCormack. Here's Snodgrass, might just sit up for him. Pugh. Snodgrass. Right to the challenge of Lualua, still Snodgrass. Down goes McCormack. Referee's not even playing advantage, he didn't feel there was a case to answer. White, crisp, swift passing from Leeds United. It has been an excellent first half for Leeds United. Andy Keogh's first goal for the club got them up and running. 18 minutes on the clock when he drove home, and an absolutely sublime strike from Ross McCormack doubled the scoreline 6 minutes later. Lee Probert did have a call to make towards half-time as Andy Lonergan made a slightly rash challenge on Craig Noon. He didn't give the penalty though, so it's a 2-goal advantage that Leeds have at the Amex Stadium at half-time.